Hi guys, happy Witchy Wednesday. So, alright, yesterday's 3 points for effective magic. We will continue with that today. Thought that was pretty cool, pretty interesting information there. And yeah, pray we don't have any freaking tornadoes again, because it's coming. Very bad weather, so, alright. Here's part 2, lesson 11, page 478. So, alright, in part 1 of this lesson, I explained that I would teach you how to learn the ultimate secrets of magic. So, although I cannot teach you the astral secrets, the actual secrets, I think a lot of us already have this. This is because each person must learn them for him or herself and prove his or her worth and readiness. So, also the secrets are of a very subjective nature, which may be the ultimate secrets of magic. For you might not even, or you might not be for another aspirant. So, there's a big secret in magic, and I know it. I think I know it. I feel really short. I feel really sunburnt too. But anyways, so let's go on. However, if you think that you will begin to learn the techniques for the discovery in this lesson, you will be wrong. So, you will not begin to learn the techniques here because you have already begun to learn them from the very first lesson of this course. Alright, so if you guys are following along in Modern Magic, or High Magic, whatever, 2nd edition, 1st edition, with the cassette tape, yes, I said cassette tape, you will know. So, up to this point, or up to this time, without dwelling on it, I have been directing you in the method of how to obtain that, or the desired information and secrets. I have not dwelt upon it because some people seem to fear what is represented by 2 small words. Yes, I think I know where he's going with this. Thank you, Donald Michael Craig, wherever you are. Frankly, I cannot understand this fear because the process named by those 2 words is something these same people do every day of their lives. However, they do it without control. When this process is controlled by a firm magical will, something you've been developing by following these lessons and doing these rituals and exercises. So, however, it seems to scare some people. This is foolish, as there is nothing to be afraid of from something which you ordinarily do so easily. So it is quite common, and the 2 words which describe it are, what do you guys think it is? Astral projection. So a lot of people get really scared about that. So don't feel uncomfortable with the idea of the astral projection. You do it every time you daydream, and frequently when you dream in your sleep. Dreaming, daydreaming, building up the energy, it's all tied in. So, astral travel, which allows astral projection, is also very common and natural. In fact, you probably had to unlearn how to astral travel when you were a child. It is very common for parents to tell their children not to play in invisible scenes with invisible play friends. They're not really that invisible, and they're not really imaginary. So these were scenes and entities from the astral plane. So you may remember some of this type of childhood experience in a very superficial way. I have my experiences and I love them. I wish I could go back to about 9 years old. That would be the perfect, just everything would be perfect. No, not 9 years old. Wow, no, that was a rough time. Alright, so you may remember, blah blah blah, I already read that to you guys. So very few people remember this extreme youth in detail, because elders will tell you, come back to reality, and don't play foolish games, and worst of all, quit pretending. That's the worst thing, the worst feeling in the world. When you have somebody, when you know something is so very real, and then you have people telling you that you're lying, or it's fake, or it's false. So, alright, it was eventually impressed into your conscious to forget those invisibles which are seeable on the astral plane. So this process of causing yourself to forget those things, which would be uncomfortable or unacceptable to your current state of consciousness, is what psychotherapists call motivated forgetting. So I have learned so much from EDMR therapy. The rapid. Wow. What is it when you say your words backwards and mix them all up? I'm not dyslexic, but jeez. What was I saying? Oh yeah, my EDMR therapist. Rapid eye movement therapy. Oh yeah, that's the best kind of therapy ever. So if you don't go to therapy, you might want to. So you can get that block out of you. So it is one of the secrets, or the reasons, why most people remember little of their infancy. I remember so much. So much. So it was so childish and embarrassing not to be able to walk, communicate, and take care of yourself, or even control your bowels, that you want to forget. So, as you may recall, I said at the beginning of this course that your daily ritual practice would become shorter. So, this is because you will be able to do all of your regular daily ritual work totally astrally. Remember, the physical actions of the ritual work to impress the subconscious and reinforce the conscious, with what is being done in the astral plane. So, therefore, you can begin by passing on the physical and go directly to the astral plane by doing the following ritual. So, what do you guys think? I think it's pretty interesting. It's very, very interesting to do everything in the astral realm, and then you don't have to do it. You don't have to have any tools. Nothing. Everything we have that we use, tools just to aid us. So that's it. Alright, so here's the astral lesser banishing ritual of the pentagram. So, your preparation until you have practiced this at least 20 times. Yeah, I can't even count how many times I've done the lesser banishing ritual of the pentagram. Alright, begin by doing a regular physical lesser banishing ritual of the pentagram. If time allows, also do the BRH, the banishing ritual of the hexagram. Alright, so step 1. Sit in the center of your circle and relax with some steady deep breathing and the relaxation ritual. You should be facing the east, behind me. Your eyes should be closed and your arms and legs should not be crossed. Okay, it's kind of hard, but alright, I'll try that. Alright, so step 2. Visualize yourself, or if you prefer, an idealized image of yourself standing facing you. Take some time and get the best image possible in your mind. So, step 3. Once your double, frequently called a doppelganger, this is very real, very, very real, is complete, use your willpower and have it turn to face the east, the same direction in which you are looking. So, this procedure should take no special ritual techniques. Simply tell it silently to turn about, and it will. Of course, it should be still standing. So, that's pretty easy. So what I say is, don't you dare visualize that. Don't visualize any of this. So, step 4. Now, with audibly, without audibly saying anything, will your twin to do the entire lesser banishing ritual of the pentagram. Your physical body should be in the center of the area, the position where your physical altar would normally be located. Try to hear, feel, smell, sense, and visualize everything your double does. Keep your physical eyes closed. It's pretty interesting. It's pretty fun. So this kind of goes into the Egyptian, where you actually do have your double, your Ba, which is your double, your astral form, which is very interesting. So within the union of Isis and Thoth, you guys can learn about that too. So it's a very good book. All right, so step 5. Once you have completed this astral performance of the lesser banishing ritual of the pentagram, have your double sit in your lap and allow yourself to reabsorb it. So take some deep breaths and unite yourselves. It's pretty interesting. Alright, so clap your hands loudly 3 times. The sound will help bring you back to normal consciousness. Now you may open your eyes. So you can do, I don't know, a bell, clapping, you can do a singing bowl. I really like the singing bowl. So now postscript. After you have done the astral lesser banishing ritual of the pentagram, be sure and perform the LBRP physically. So do this until you have performed the astral version at least 30, not 20, 30 times. So the astral LBRP sounds quite easy to do from the description above. Actually, it sounds a great deal easier than it really is. So this ritual takes as much or more concentration than any rituals you have done so far in this course. If you find yourself getting lost or falling asleep, just stop where you are and perform the LBRP physically, simply following the directions and add nothing to them. Nothing bad can happen to you. So, very interesting. Alright. If you have trouble concentrating to a level where you can do the entire LBRP in its above astral fashion, try practicing the following concentration exercise. So, here's what you're going to need. A timer and 4 cards, like those cue cards, or note cards. So, on the first card, place a large dot, and on the second, place 2 dots side by side. On the third card, make a row of 3 dots, and on the fourth card, a similar row of 4 dots. So, set the timer for 5 minutes. Look at your card. Look at card 1 until you have a very good idea of that single spot. So now close your eyes and only think of that spot. If any other thought comes into your mind, simply bring back your focus to that one spot on that card. So, cease the exercise when the timer goes off. Your goal in this exercise is to keep that single spot visualized for 5 minutes and allow nothing else to interfere with your concentration. It should be pretty easy. Just tell yourself, you're not going to do it. You're not going to visualize. A little bit of reverse psychology there. When you have very few breaks in your concentration, move on to card 2 with the 2 spots and repeat the exercise. So continue this practice until you can keep the 2 dots in your mind for the full 5 minutes. So it's very easy. When you can do this card 4 and its 4 dots, you will have excellent concentration abilities. So I like this. Although this exercise sounds easy, it is not. The first time I tried it, I broke out into a sweat and was drenched within 5 minutes. Ooh, do not underestimate its difficulty. Oh, okay, maybe it is a little more difficult than I thought. On the other hand, if you find that the Astral LBRP is easy for you to do, add to it an astral version of the banishing ritual of the hexagram. So, the middle pillar ritual and the circulation of the body of light. I will never do the middle pillar ever again. It's too much. It's way too much. It's like a flooding of astral light directly to the central nervous system, and it sucks. I hated it. And I think medication does affect a lot of that, working with light in the body and energy movement and all of everything in our body, because the light we literally invoke when we're doing that middle pillar and moving the colors and the orbs up and down our body, it does affect us just like medication would. So eventually you should be able to do all of these astrally. Then even a few minutes with your eyes closed should equal what is now taking you much longer on the physical plane. So although your daily work should still be done every day, you will reach a time where you will rarely have to do them physically. And that's very true too. I still, at night, I will lay in bed sometimes if I can't sleep, say I'm out of something and I can't sleep. I will actually visualize and I will daydream, and that's astral projection right there. I will do the lesser banishing ritual of the pentagram, and it is so beautiful. It is so beautiful to see. I mean, the colors are, I can't explain them. You can't explain the feelings or the colors. It's amazing. That's all I have to say. So, you will, of course, do most of this so-called gray magic rituals on the physical plane, and also those rituals wherein you delve into the deepest realms of the magical art. So, I think it's pretty amazing. Back when last New Year's, I think it was, I did a hit of acid, so I forgot that that's my New Year's ritual, microdose. So, but I didn't microdose it last time. So it kept me up. I was irritated that I couldn't go to sleep. So what I did, I put that to use. So everything now, what I think about, what I visualized, all of the rituals that I did from this actual book are actually manifested already. They manifested, I mean, within days. That's how powerful that was. So that's why it's very, just don't do anything like that. Don't do anything I say I did. Just don't. Alright, some of you who have read, just, yeah, for your own safety, this is just for, you know, informative. This is just informative, that's it. I cannot tell you to do this. I urge you not to. I'm just giving you my experience. So, some of you have read about or practiced astral projection and astral travel, maybe thinking, wait a minute, what he described isn't astral projection at all, and I confess this is true. So, there are two techniques which are frequently called astral projection. The first one is frequently mistaken for astral projection, but is nothing of the kind. It is actually mental projection. Alright, the whole acid thing with me was total astral projection. So in mental projection, you send your mind and senses away from your body by force of will. You will still retain your consciousness and some sense of awareness in your physical body. Another name for this is bilocationality. So, in true astral projection, the consciousness almost totally leaves physical and joins the astral double. So that's the difference. So the physical body appears to be sleeping or in a coma. If you have forgotten about how the astral plane works and how everything has an astral double, now is the time to reread lessons 5 and 7. So, in the Astral LBRP, just described, all you are doing is using your powers of visualization and your imagination. You are not doing astral or even mental projection. But look again at step 4. Quote, hear, feel, smell, sense, and visualize everything your double does. Unquote. So, by doing this eventually and quite naturally, you will experience bilocationality. It's wonderful. Remote viewing. So this will occur when you are open and ready for it. You will have an awareness of both your physical self and your astral body. It's very true too. And it works. It works. I love it. It's just, all of this is just very amazing. It really truly is. The inner work, it's the most important. To do the inner work. To do the astral work. Like planting seeds on the new moon. Very, very, very into the astral, so I'll put myself into a trance, a big time trance, almost to the point of sleep, but I keep myself awake. My body will jerk a little bit, like my toe, in a natural response because the body thinks it's gonna die. Don't know why. You know, when they say smoking and, you know, like just all like sugar and sweets, and I have a sweet tooth, yes, I eat a lot. Smoking, I smoke a lot. It does not affect your magic. For me, it doesn't. It doesn't. I mean, I really honestly think that's like a Wiccan thing. So, alright, here we go. Or your consciousness may seem to jump back and forth between the two forms, which mine does a lot. So it's different. Then once again, only when you are ready for it, you will notice that you are no longer aware of your physical body. It feels so amazing. It feels so good. I can't describe it. So it is at this time that you are experiencing true astral projection. When this occurs, do not rapidly seek to return to your physical body. Rather, try to get comfortable in your astral form and get used to the way that it feels to be out of body. This will make the projection of the astral body easier as time goes on. A lot of people will see themselves above. Well, you'll astral project and then you'll see yourself looking down and you'll freak out. boom, right back in your body. If you think of your feet, boom, right back in your body. Grounding. So try not to do that. Alright. Where'd I go? Okay, if you would like to try some other methods for projecting your astral body and traveling on the astral plane, here are some good ones. Remember, however, to always perform the LBRP and the banishing ritual of the hexagram if time allows, before doing any projection. So this cannot be overemphasized. Now we have method 1. So, alright, start off by placing some markers around your room or home. These markers could include such things as a rose, a bowl of cold water, a shoe, etc. Now lie down on your bed. Next, get up and make a circle, going from one marker to the next, back to your bed. Involve yourself with each of the markers. Smell the rose, feel the cool wetness of the water, feel the texture of the rubber of the sole of the shoe. When you return to bed, lie down in your original position. So the next step is to visualize above you a cloud of purest white. It may remain as a cloud, or you can form it into the shape of your own body, idealized if desired. My body always stays the same, I don't know why. You may notice a connection between your physical body and your double in the form of an umbilical cord-like cord at your navel solar plexus, third eye area, or at the top of your head. People experience this cord in different places. It's called the silver cord. Keeps you connected to if that cord cuts, you're dead. That's what, when you leave this earth, that cord is cut and severed, and so you're gone. So, where'd I go? Alright, now, will the cloud or double to circle around the markers following the same path that you had taken earlier. So if you noticed the cord, you can see that it will stretch indefinitely. Have the double or cloud smell the rose, feel that water, and feel the shoe, just as you did earlier. So eventually this imaginary tour will change to bi-locationality, and finally to astral projection. So, once you have attained these states, there is no need to limit yourself as to where you can go. Feel free to visit a friend's home. Remember that you are learning a new skill, so don't try to go too far until you're very comfortable with the experience. So, even if you are only using your imagination, always reabsorb the double or cloud back into your physical body when you have completed your journey. So, also always end with a banishing ritual. So, a very, very big thing. So, method number 2. So this is another very similar method to the first one. Either lie down or sit in a chair. Begin by visualizing a cloud in front of you, or over you if you are lying down. If you wish, you may form it into a double of yourself. I find that so much easier, a double of myself. It's just easier. So now firmly desire to transfer your consciousness to the double. If you feel a sudden change in your body, described by some as a lightning or vibrating feeling, I kind of feel like I'm being pulled up and out of my body. It feels really cool. You will yourself to open your eyes. Do not try to physically open your eyes by pushing your muscles. Just will yourself to see. Do not be surprised when you see your physical body in front of you. So yes, don't get scared, don't freak out. So, spend no more than 3 minutes concentrating on trying to cause your consciousness to leave your body and join your astral self. If it works, fine. If it doesn't work in about 3 minutes, that is fine too. Relax, take some deep breaths, and try again tomorrow. So the key to succeeding with this system, and with all of the methods, really is the urgent desire to leave your physical body. When you succeed, be sure to reabsorb the double into your physical body at the end of the projection. And, of course, do your banishings before and after. So, very easy stuff. Well, it may seem easy, but sometimes it's not. So, method number 3. So, lie naked on a bed. Ooh, that would actually feel really good right now. Have a friend or a relative put a folded, heavy bedspread on your feet. Now, have your aide Slowly drag the folded spread up your body until it reaches the top of your head. Then the person helping you should quickly lift the spread up and away from you, and quietly leave the room. Now duplicate the process in your mind's eye, only instead of a bedspread, feel your astral body rising up. First your feet rise, then your ankles, calves, knees, so forth, to the top of your head. At the point where the bedspread was lifted from your physical body, imagine your consciousness going with the astral body. When finished, reabsorb the double into your own body. Very simple. Never heard of that naked method. I've heard of the blanket, but not the naked. Very interesting. I love this stuff. I love astral projection. Especially with the 5th dimension that we're entering now. That's pretty crazy stuff, that we're actually entering a 5th dimension. A lot of us are living in 4th dimension, or 3rd. That is why magic is more powerful now. We are tapping into it. It's easier. The veil is thinner. Veil, whatever. Curtain. Alright, so method 4. Alright, so hear the musical note D, natural above middle C in your mind. Alright, so the earth rotates at B minor. Remember that. So, a little practice with a piano, a pitch pipe. I have got to get one of those. They're amazing. So, or a friend with a musical instrument. Will make this pitch familiar to you. So now double the frequency. Oh, I thought I froze. Of the pitch in your mind, so that you hear a pitch an octave higher than the first note. So, if you're not a musician, a friend with musical knowledge can help you with this. If I had my piano plugged in, my keyboard, I could show you, or I could let you guys hear it. Alright. Again, hear the tone, only add an additional octave higher, then hear an octave above that. Continue this process until you are far above a piano's range. So, there's a lot to do, a lot of musical vibrations. It's pretty cool. So, you will notice that you are feeling lighter as the notes go up in pitch. You may sense a vibration in your head. Let the sound rise higher and higher as you feel the sound rise toward the ceiling of your room. When you sense that the sound is as high as it can go, both as a pitch and within the confines of the room, will your eyes to open. Again, don't be surprised if you see your physical body below. When finished, allow the double to be reabsorbed into the physical body. This method is particularly good for musicians. I know I have a lot of very musically inclined people on this channel, and I hope this helps. So, it was the method I used when I first had a willed out-of-body experience. So, right, the methods of astral projection and astral travel presented here are enough for anyone to learn from. If you desire more information, look at some of the books in the lesson's bibliography. But be aware that each of the books are limited by preconceived notions of the authors. So, set yourself no limits and you will have none. And besides, it is far better to learn by going than by reading. By doing. Some students have expressed concerns about being lost in the astral and not being able to come back to their physical bodies. If you follow the instructions given in these lessons, it simply cannot happen. You have a direct link to your body via the cord mentioned earlier. So this is true even if you, like some people, are not aware of the existence of the cord. So, again, the only time that getting lost can occur is if you stray too far from your physical body. The relative expression too far is not a question of yards or miles. For lack of a better comparison, I like to say what it refers to, hundreds of light years. Simply stay near your body while you are learning and you will have no such problem whatsoever. So in fact, the biggest problem for most people is not getting back, but getting out in the first place, and then staying out. You must truly desire to leave your body and approach the entire idea of the astral by knowing that it is beautiful, stimulating, safe, exciting, and fun. So it's amazing. It really is honestly amazing. So it's So there is one problem rarely mentioned due to its lack of seriousness. It can occur to beginners and longtime veterans of astral projection and travel. So it is what is known as astral whiplash. Very true. Alright, so sometimes when you are out of your body, something can jar your physical body enough to suddenly draw your astral body back into your physical self. So this can be a knock on the door, a phone ringing, a car backfiring, or a friend nudging you and asking you, hey, are you asleep? You know when you're half asleep and you just jolt and you wake yourself up? There we go. So, the result of this whiplash back into your body is that you may just feel a little bit groggy, sore all over, tired, and you may get a headache when you project astral substance. So, it has gone under many names. It comes out of your physical body and unites with your astral body by way of the cord mentioned above. So coming back too quickly can result in your leaving some of this substance still out on the astral plane. So it is this loss which causes the minor physical problems mentioned in the above. So this is one reason why you should always allow the double to be absorbed by the physical body after you finish your projection. So I've experienced astral whiplash. I had a very dear friend of mine. It's in A Witch's Journey, the first book I wrote. And I don't know where she is, what happened, but when something did happen, we went to Stonehenge. She came and she got me astrally, helped me out of my body astrally. We went to Stonehenge and we were dancing. Literally, something happened, jolted, and something happened to her too. Boom, I was back in my body. I was so sore. My knees hurt because I fell in Stonehenge dancing with them. I fell. I actually had grass stains on my knees. Literally. I don't know how that happened. I don't know how somebody could bring grass stains through space and time, but it happened. And I was so sore and groggy, and I just felt terrible. So, but he says, I experienced astral whiplash on my first successful attempt at astral projection. When I willed my eyes open, I suddenly realized that I was floating at the top of the room and could see my body below me. The excitement and exhilaration was too much, and wham, I was back in my body. That's what happens. Luckily, I had not gone too far, and I only ended up with a little grogginess. So some deep breathing and a drink of cool, fresh water fixed it. So, rebalancing your body. If you ever have a problem with astral whiplash, and were not really close to your body when the whiplash occurred, there is a simple remedy for any other of the symptoms associated with it. Reproject yourself to the same place to which you went, and when you were interrupted, then return to your physical body in your normal fashion. You will automatically collect whatever substance was lost. If you do not have a chance to reproject, the feelings resulting from astral whiplash will fade in a few hours or after a good sleep. So perhaps the best solution to astral whiplash caused by an interruption from an outsider would be prevention. So before attempting any projection, take the phone off the hook. Tell anybody else in your home that you are not to be disturbed for the next hour. So it's very important that you stay concentrated and that you don't have any crazy interruptions, because it ruins it. It totally ruins it. And it doesn't feel good. So, at this time, there is no need for you to travel far once you have the knack of projection. So, however, it is important to include your tarot contemplation ritual, the aspect of imagining yourself in the chosen card and looking beyond the edge of the card. If you are not doing so already, this and astral projection come together in the next part of this lesson. So, you may wish to practice both the advanced tarot contemplation ritual and the astral projection for a few days or weeks until you have a minimal efficiency before moving to the next part of this lesson. So tomorrow we will do part 3, and that is just a very good information on astral projection. I like this. I like where it's going. So yes, the whole awakening thing, the fifth dimension. It does kind of make sense. It kind of freaked me out last night. I was speaking with my darling Virgo queen, and I had to look down at my hand, and it was covered in what looked like a blue-green scale. Like scales, blue and green. Freaked me out. Totally freaked me out. So yeah, that was a little creepy. Don't know why. Don't know if I looked at the color or something. Like if you look at a candle flame and then you look away, it's still there for just a few minutes. I think it could have been something I looked at and then seen it projected onto my own hand. So that was kind of scary because reptilian came to mind. And I know I'm about freaked out over that. So, but yeah. So what are your guys' experiences on astral projection and the astral double? Do you guys do it? Have you guys done it this way? Or are you doing it a different way? But I'm very excited to find out. So, alright guys. I love you all. I'm so glad that you guys like the live sessions. So that's coming up, obviously. I hope you guys have a really good day. Be safe. And let me know what you guys think below. So, I love you all very much. All the way from Venus. All the way back down. Alright, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. And happy Witchy Wednesday.